September the 13th, 1990, a new car takes to the road in the UK, described in the motoring press as the first major advance in luxury car design for the 90s. It's a car which its makers say has been designed specifically to meet the needs of a business executive, and no less than £600 million has been invested in its development. The car makers, Peugeot. The car, this, the Peugeot 605. For any motor manufacturer, the launch of a new car is a bold step, requiring very careful consideration of the possible effects on the company's business as a whole. Even more so, if, like Peugeot, you're launching into a market in which you have not already established a presence, and where there is already keen competition between manufacturers. So what are the expectations of the customers, like yourself, which must be satisfied if this car is to be a success? And how well does the 605 match those expectations? That is the question we'll be asking in this exclusive preview as we examine the promise of the 605. Given the commitment of investment and resources that launching into the executive car market requires, there can be little doubting Peugeot's confidence in its ability to succeed with the 605. And indeed, that confidence is well-founded, Peugeot having enjoyed a great deal of success in recent years. As they say, the lion going from strength to strength. It began with this, the car that revitalized Peugeot's image, the 205. With its extraordinary exploits in rallying, winning 2 world championships in a row. With its success in the grueling Paris-Dakar race, the 205 became very quickly one of the most popular cars ever in its class. Soon followed by the equally successful 309, the first ever Peugeot to be built in Britain. Then came the Peugeot 405. With the launch of the 405, Car of the Year in 1988, Peugeot won a sales and marketing coup. And the 405 T16 Rally Coupe has taken over from the 205 in the major tests of performance like the formidable Pikes Peak Hill Climb, where it has been winner for the past 3 years. And it is in exploits like this that we find the reason for Peugeot's rapid rise in popularity. Backed by massive investment in the very best design and manufacturing technology, Peugeot has been able to produce cars having the very best ride and handling characteristics in each respective class. Cars that people want to drive. The question is, what is the relevance of all this to the executive car market? Can the fundamental principles underlying Peugeot's success to date be applied to the 605? Well, according to research, they can. The difference being that at this level, not only must a car handle and perform exceptionally well, it must also offer the highest possible standards in comfort. So, with the 605, has Peugeot achieved all that is necessary to meet the demands of drivers at the top of the UK car market? Well, only you can really decide on that. So let's take a look at the Peugeot 605 and at what's on offer in the range. The designer of any car has to resolve a number of conflicts: exterior styling versus space and practicality, and indeed handling and performance versus comfort. Confronted by these problems, the designer's solution must almost always be a compromise. But with the 605, when it came to the question of good handling and performance opposing a comfortable ride, Peugeot was not prepared to compromise. That was the challenge taken on with the design of this car. The shape of the 605, defined by aerodynamics to achieve maximum efficiency in the fast lane. The body of the 605, defined by no less than 12,000 reference points for absolute precision in construction. 238 panels, each one positioned to an accuracy of less than ½ millimeter. 3,800 welding points, giving exceptional torsional rigidity, producing a car which is solid and enduring. 2 coats of color and 2 coats of clear lacquer are applied, giving a surface finish with more than twice the depth of that of most cars, all in a fully automated, dust-free environment. The 605's protective safety cage is designed to standards well above the minimum required by legislation and is itself protected against corrosion. In fact, the 605 has 50% more galvanized or zinc-coated steel than may be found in a BMW or Mercedes. To appreciate just what Peugeot has achieved with the 605, you really need to see it, feel it, outside and in. The solidity of the fascia, made as a single integral item. The windscreen and backlight bonded directly to the body shell, minimizing wind noise, enhancing the car's aerodynamic efficiency. The 605's 700 hours of wind tunnel testing have given it a drag factor as low as that to be found with any other car in its class. But to really appreciate what this means, you need to drive it. This is where the 605 takes the lead, leaving the rest of the field behind. No compromise between handling and performance, smoothness and comfort. The result, in Peugeot's own words, the effortless driving experience. How has it been achieved? The answer in part is Peugeot's innovative system for automatic ride control. Sensors located at various points transmit a constant flow of information to a central microprocessor, one of the 605's onboard computers. Steering angle, turning speed, vehicle attitude, rate of acceleration, braking pressure and road speed, all are constantly measured. Commands are then sent to actuators inside each hydraulic damper to stiffen or soften the ride in milliseconds, their reaction imperceptible to driver or passenger. The result, total comfort combined with tenacious grip and remarkable agility. Relaxed, effortless driving. Because this, according to Peugeot, is what the driver of a top-class executive car wants. But there's more, of course. Altogether, there are 7 models in the 605 range, 6 with a transversely mounted petrol engine, each fitted with a 3-way catalytic converter to minimize exhaust emissions. All have fuel injection, power steering and ABS, and an ultrasonic alarm system and high-security locks. There are 3 2-litre models, the 605 SLI, SRI and SVI, each of these being either 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatics. There is also the 605 SRDT turbo diesel, a unique engine design concept. A 4-cylinder with 3 valves per cylinder turbocharged engine capable of producing up to 110 brake horsepower, again with a choice of transmission, which also applies to the 605 SV and SVE 3-litre models. Each of these are powered by a Peugeot V6 engine, with both injection and ignition controlled by a single electronic management system. More than fast enough. With an estimated top speed in excess of 135 miles per hour, the 3-litre 605s can reach 62 miles per hour in just under 10 seconds. And at the very top of the range is the 3-litre 24-valve 605 SVE 24. Its advanced engine design incorporates an automatically controlled variable inlet manifold which optimizes gas flow to power requirements so that the engine torque is spread evenly across the rev range, giving outstanding performance. The 605 SVE 24 has a top speed of 146 miles per hour and can reach 62 miles per hour in 8.3 seconds. One car, 7 models. the magnificent 605 range. A difficult choice, perhaps. Which would you most like to test drive? Well, before you answer, let's get the inside story on the 605. The 100-page document in which were set out the minimum standards to be achieved by Peugeot's 605 design team covered everything from the kind of sound the horn should make to the required disposition or attitude of the needles on the instrumentation panel. They should not, it said, leap forward when the ignition key is turned, but rather move forward gradually. At rest, each should lie parallel with one another. The steering column, with all models, is adjustable in both reach and rake. The door-mounted side view mirrors are electrically adjusted and heated. Electrically operated windows, of course, but with the SRI models and above, a one-touch control for the driver. An ingenious heating and ventilation system, which here has separate controls for each side of the car, for those at the front. The seats, dual hardness or bi-density foam for softness or support where needed, and with electric adjustment on the SV and SVE models. The quality of the upholstery, as with all the interior trim, exactly what you'd expect. A standard of interior design that challenges even the very best in the executive class, and all part of Peugeot's effortless driving experience. But there is one more major factor to be considered: living with the car, or what Peugeot describes as the ownership experience. As the owner of a Peugeot 605, you will of course expect rather more than just a very fine motor car. The standard of care you and your car receive from your Peugeot dealer will have to be every bit as high as those standards apparent in the vehicle itself. In anticipation of this, Peugeot has developed Lion Care Gold. Lion Care Gold is designed to keep the 605 customer mobile and to minimize the inconvenience of servicing and repair. All 605 customers will receive the benefits of Peugeot's standard Lion Care service at no cost for the first year of ownership. AA roadside help, onward transportation with AA relay, and overnight accommodation if necessary. Plus, when it comes to servicing, with Lion Care Gold, the 605 owner has a number of choices. You may choose free collection and delivery of the car to office or home, or to be ferried to a local destination by courtesy car, or you may choose a fixed appointment for a while-you-wait service or repair. In addition, for the rare occasion when it might be needed, the loan of a replacement car can be arranged. And with Lion Care Gold, your car will be returned to you in spotless condition. All this to ensure carefree, effortless driving, with after-sales care for you and your car that reflects the very high standards of the 605 itself, standards upon which you can rely. That is the promise of Peugeot and its dealers, the promise of Lion Care Gold. You may have been watching this video simply out of curiosity, or with a real interest in what Peugeot has to offer. Whatever your reasons, we hope you've enjoyed this video about the Peugeot 605 and will accept Peugeot's invitation to test drive one of the models in the 605 range, to sample firsthand Peugeot's effortless driving experience. The launch of the 605 in the UK and the introduction of Lion Care Gold means a commitment to an entirely new group of customers, more discerning and more critical in their evaluation both of the car and of the care received, which is why, after all the sales talk and launch publicity, Peugeot's success, the success of the 605 in the executive car market, will depend upon fulfillment. Fulfillment of the promise of the 605.
The new Peugeot 605. Relax as the world flies by.